Welcome back, Rock Mother Nation, to another video featuring the broski here, man. We're sitting here, we got the beers going, we're jamming, and all of a sudden, I remember these fucking compilation albums that came out in the early 2000s, man. And I honestly don't think there's not one single rock or metalhead that has not heard MTV's Headbangers Ball compilations. They
Early
released
2000s.
Yeah, they released what are they called? Volumes. They released 2 volumes in the early 2000s. The first one had a lot of maybe
Double
like
disc.
yeah, like radio rock or hard rock bands like Seven Dust, Godsmack, Cold. But volume 2 was the one that features a lot of fucking, new wave of American heavy metal, metalcore, or just metal tracks with bands like Killswitch Engage, Trivium, Shadows Fall, God Forbid, Slipknot, Himsa, Him.
3 Inches of Blood.
I could go on and on, but let's move on, shall we? I remember hearing these, and like I said, Volume 2 was one of my favorite. I remember that's the first time I heard a band, 36 Crazy Fists, was on one of those compilations, and I started liking them because of that. So I remember buying their album when we were up in Maryland working.
And I think it was a perfect, I guess, album, because it was two disc album, but that encompassed what we were listening to at that time. All those bands, like, we were jamming out, and it was cool to have a CD that had 1 or 2 songs from everything that we were listening to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it sucks that they stopped making them. After fucking Headbangers Ball went off the air, they stopped making those compilations album as well. And it also reminds me of not really compilations, but albums where I used to buy the Metal Hammer CDs, Metal Hammer magazine. But
I remember that too.
Every magazine came with a little disc in it. So it's not, you can't compare. You really can't compare it because Headbangers Ball was always, the 2 volumes they released were 2 discs, and they featured like bigger bands. But I remember jamming out to those repeatedly, man. Another one I'll throw in real quick was the Vans Warped Tour compilation. I want to say maybe 2004. That one was really good. Had bands like fucking Thrice and Avenged Sevenfold, and the whole bands that tour with Vans Warped Tour. But that's one of my favorite, man. The Headbangers Ball. If you haven't checked them out, they should be available on all digital platforms. But if you've ever don't know what to listen to, don't know what to check out, just look those up, hit play, shuffle, and jam out to the 2 discs of each volume of that, man. I guarantee you're gonna like those. So right now, he's gonna tell you what one of his favorites, man. So here you go.
But like he was saying, if you like the bands that we usually jam out, you're gonna like you're gonna like that album, man. My favorite is gonna have to be in 2005. Roadrunner came up with this badass concept to celebrate, I think it was their 25th or 30th anniversary. And basically what they wanted to do was make an album that kind of used, up to that point, like just about every single person that's been on a band that's been on the Roadrunner label. It was, I looked up earlier, and it was 57 artists out of 45 bands. And what they did was pick 4 captains to basically pick 4 people to write songs, and then get members from all those other bands and get them to play their song. And it was the guitarist, bassist, drummer, second guitarist, or whatever.
And this is pretty much like, if there was ever a super group, this is like super groups of the super groups, man. We're talking about fucking members of bands like Machine Head,
all Roadrunner,
El Nino, King Diamond, Trivium, Slipknot. We're talking about Dave Shavari, King Diamond, Rob Flynn, Jesse Leach, Howard Jones.
Well, that's for example, that's like the first song on the album has Howard Jones on vocals. It has Rob Flynn on guitars. Just that combination alone. I forgot who's on bass, on drums. The King Diamond song has the 2 guitarists of Trivium, King Diamond on vocals, Mike D'Antonio bass of Killswitch Engage, and Dave Shavari of El Nino on drums. And the whole album was made up like that. So you have all these bassists and drummers kind of like switching bands and making super bands. Corey Taylor's on it. The four captains were Matt Heffy of Trivium, Joey Jordison of Slipknot at that time, Dino Cáceres of Fear Factory, Brujeria, and Rob Flynn of Machine Head. So those four guys came up. I mean, you have a death metal song of Matt Heffy on fucking on guitar with Danny Filth of Cradle of Filth on vocals, and the drummer of fucking Suffocation. And I forgot who the bassist was. I think it's Josh Rand Josh Rand did the other song with Jesse Leach, and I don't know, man. It's just so many artists from everything that we listened to, especially when Roadrunner was huge, when they were the label to go to.
Yeah, that time everybody wanted to fucking sign with Roadrunner, man.
It's called the All-Star Sessions.
Yeah, and like I said, it features like pretty much at that time every fucking member of every band you could think of. Yeah, like every band you could think of.
Stone Sour,
it had members
Slipknot.
on that. So I thought that was a badass way for them to celebrate, you know, their anniversary at that time for whatever it was. But also I remember it came with a DVD of a concert featuring all these fucking members just jamming out. And
Peter Steele recorded one of his last songs for that Roadrunner session with Joey Jordison of Slipknot. And like he said, they did a one-time performance live on in New York or something a little bit after, in 2008, I think. And they put out a live DVD, so that's something you could YouTube as well. But Roadrunner United, the All-Star Sessions. If you've never heard of it, check it out, and you're gonna dig it.
So yeah, guys, again, this is another quick video adding content to the channel. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. What are some of your favorite compilations, man? Because I know these ain't the only
Let
two.
us know in the comments.
So let us know what's up, and we'll see you next time on the next video, guys. Rock Metal Nation out. Peace.